Everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to be going over kind of a new strategy, and it's using the best of what I talked about before, the linear strategy and the 90-95, but it's also using a new custom strategy. And it helps you see things a little bit clearer and when to enter trades. Now, if you guys seen one of the previous videos I did a long time ago was called Trade Sniper. This is kind of related to that. It's not using Trade Sniper, but it's how to create this for yourself, how to set it up in a custom way to where you don't need Trade Sniper. It acts kind of the same way. But I'm gonna show you how to set this up, and we're gonna look at the stock market because this works extremely well for the stock market. I'm going to start with that. We're going to use this formula. I'll teach you how to set it up, and I'll teach you. We're going to focus on the longer time frames. I'll look at mainly for this. We'll look at the hour and the 6 hour to get the best results. I don't personally like doing this for smaller time frames. When I look for trades, I try to get the best result that I can get in intraday and all that. It's better to get those bigger results, in my opinion. So I'm going to teach you how to do this on the hour and 6 hour, or even the day. So this is meant for longer holds. But anyway, let me teach you how to set it up. Okay, so you want to get your charts looking something like this. So it's basically a 3-step process as far as indicators go. The first thing you're going to need to set up is your 90-95. So what you want to do is you want to go to CM, EMA trend bars, and you're going to change your settings to 90, and then another one for 95. That's what these are right here. And then the next one you want to set up is your linear. It's your linear regression. It's the top one here. And once you have that there, you want to hide your regular candles. Now the third setup here is kind of a custom strategy here. You want to go to CM. Now I'll show you how it looks by default. CM Stochastic. So it's going to look like that on the bottom there when you first load it up. You want to change it to where it looks like they're more at the top. So basically what you want to do is you want to change your settings here. Now your lines here, you want to make your bullish here. I take down the line and I make the green more bright. Same thing for the red. I bring it up and I bring down the thickness. Now this neutral color here is very important. I like to keep it at a solid color, so I keep it at white. So I keep that at white right there, and you want to do the same. And then basically everything else you want to check off. You want to check off all the fills. You want to check out the bar colors. So it's the 100 line and the 0 line that you got to keep. Everything else you check off. So basically you change all this. You change the opacity to 100%. You make the colors bright. Your neutral color you want to be you want it to stand out. And then you want to keep your 100 line and your 0 line. Everything else you check off. And then you'll have it set kind of like I do here. So the whole point of this is you basically enter. Now you want to look at your 90-95 and you want to go with the trend. So I do not go against the trend with this strategy. You can if you want, but I choose not to. I choose to go with the trend. So if the trend is up, and you could look at something like the day chart, and you can look at your 90-95 here, and you can tell what direction it's going. It's going up. So focus on the uptrend because that's the overall direction. So in this scenario, that's what we would focus on. So we have our linear line here. So what you would want to focus on is you can enter every time the candle crosses that linear line. Every time that candle crosses that linear line, it's a good trade. So that's what you want to focus on. But what you really want to focus on is you want to look at your customized stochastic here, and you want to look at those moments where it's neutral. You want to look at those moments where it's neutral, and that's where you want to enter, basically. And if it matches with the linear line, that's a double confirmation. So let me just bring out the thickness for it real quick so you guys can see it. So we are looking at the neutral color here. So it stands out a little bit. So you basically enter every time it goes. That's basically the cool down period. So if you notice, it goes neutral, up, neutral, down, neutral, up, neutral, down. That's usually the pattern, but it's not always like that. So you basically enter every time every time it's neutral is when you enter your trade. And if it matches with the linear line and the 99.5, it's also another confirmation. So let's look at the S&P real quick. We'll look at this on the hour, and then we'll look at maybe some other time frames. But if we want to focus on the direction of it going up, we want to enter after it has come into red, neutral, and then up. So basically, we got our neutral zone. So this would be when we enter the trade. We would enter right about here, and we just ride it out. And you can get out whenever you want. You can hold this for a day, and that's about $800 for one contract. Or you can hold out longer. So since we know the direction is up, that's what we focus on. We want to wait for it to come down, go neutral, and then enter. We enter on every time it's neutral, like right here. We would enter right here. This wouldn't have been a small one. This is about $200. So since the trend, now that big dump that SPY had, you would have been able to catch it, but that is going with against the trend. You could have caught that because you saw neutral, went up, neutral, and then came down. You could have caught that whole thing, but that is technically going against the trend, but you could have caught that one. But since the focus is the uptrend, neutral right here, small one right here goes up, and you could have caught that one. That's about $300. And then the next one is right here, and you would enter right here because the direction's going up. You would have rode this whole thing out, and you could have got out here. This took 6 days, and you would have made about $3,000 with one contract. So it's very helpful. I do this on the hour because it gives the best results, but you could hold these. I don't like doing it on smaller time frames because it can be choppy. I focus on longer time frames. So let's real quickly look at the 6 hour with this, and it's the same thing. We know the direction is up, so you want to enter. You want to enter after it's had a cool down period. It's right here, and we're entering into that right now on the 6 hour. But let's see if we can find it again. See right here, it becomes neutral. Neutral right about here. You could ride this one out for 4 days, and you made about that's $376. Not a lot there, but it's, you have another moment right here. Neutral, and it's also crossing the linear line. So you come in here and you ride it out. And this would have been profit for 11 days. You would have made about $1,556 in that move right there. We always want to focus on the direction of that it's going. So, because that'll give you probably the most returns is by focusing on the trend. Do you see the direction is right now? It's neutral right here, so you would ride this one out. And it matches with the linear line. And this is 16 days. You would have made $2,753 with one contract. Around there. Now there would be a couple scenarios where it would not work. Make sure you look at what it's doing with the linear line to double check everything, because right here it's saying, it's going to go up, but it only went up briefly and then it came down. So check where it is on the linear line. But most of the time it brings some good results. It comes neutral right here, so you would enter, and it's also crossing the linear line, so you would have rode this entire thing out. This is 11 days. You would have made $3,828 with one contract. And let's look for another one. See it happen right here. See it go neutral right about here. You ride this out right about here. This is 13 days. This is almost 2 weeks, and you would have made $1,762. So it works the best in longer time frames. Real quickly, we're going to be looking at this on the day to see if this will work on the day as well. Now, doing it on the day, you're gonna you'll have to wait a while for these trades, and you would have to buy longer contracts to get these kind of results. But we'll look at the day real quick, and it works the same. Trend goes down, neutral right about here. If you enter here and held this till about here, this is 8 days, you would have made about $3,000. Right about here goes neutral. If you come in, we also see it crossing up on the linear line. Could have rode this out. Could have stopped it here after 15 days. You would have made $2,690, or you could have rode it out longer till here, and you would have made about $3,903 in 36 days. So it's up to you, but I prefer for the strategy, if I want to make some pretty good profit pretty frequently, I would look at it on the hour. Now, the smallest time frame I will do this on is the 15-minute. Now, I do not like going lower than a 15-minute, but you can see that it would still work the same. But you will hit more of those consolidation periods and ups and downs. So I personally do not like doing it, but this is more on intraday. As you can see, you might run into some issues here. So look, green, down, and then green again. So it's better on the longer time frames, but if you follow this one right here, you would have made $455 in 4 hours. So I personally, my preference is doing it on the hour. But this is not an everyday, this is not intraday, so you will have to wait before you see it. So what we can see right now with SPY is it's probably going to start coming down a little bit, and then it's going to turn red, and then it's going to come back up. So we got to wait for it to come down, cool off, and then go back up. So that's kind of the next direction for it. But I generally focus on the hour for this. It turns everything into a very part-time job. Just set your formulas up like this, and just wait on the hour chart to kind of give the best result. The hour is the best result in my opinion, unless you want to wait on a longer time frame. Now, this strategy works the best for like the stock market, but you can also use it for crypto, Forex, gold, and I'm going to be going over those in the next couple videos with this strategy. So I wanted to come out with this video for the stock market first, because that's what majority of people are doing when they're watching these videos, is they're using these methods for the stock market. So this method will help with the stock market, and it can also help you. You don't have to do options for this. You can do something like MicroStrategy and stocks that have a lot of momentum. And you can find all those moments where it starts going up. You can use this strategy for that. But anyway, guys, like this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in future videos.